So go ahead and get yourself situated on your mat. So we'll be on our backs and we'll be twisting and we'll be opening eyes and closing eyes and freeing up our ribs a little bit. So yeah, go ahead, lie down on your backs. You can have your legs long or your feet standing, whatever's most comfortable for you. And you can start by just noticing your breath. Maybe letting go. Each time you exhale a little more of whatever you were busy with before we started. And settling in. Then you can begin to scan through your lying self, your lying down self. Feel the weight of your head, the contact of your shoulders. Is there a difference on the right or the left area of the shoulder blades where you rest on the floor? Does one side of your back make a different imprint on your mat? You can scan for that. Is there more of your rib cage resting on the floor on one side and less on the other? What about your pelvis? The right and left sides. And the arch in the lower back, the natural curve, is it the same on the right and left sides of the spine, or is one side lower or higher? Maybe you can't tell. Sense your right leg all the way down to the heel. And your left leg. Do your legs feel that they're the same length? The same weight? Or are they somehow uniquely different? Check in with your head, your neck, roll your head a bit here and there. How free is your head, your neck? And then just think about which direction, if you were to fold and turn to lie on your right side or your left side, which side would you choose spontaneously? And go ahead and do that. So if you feel like, yeah, my instinct is that I would prefer to roll to the right, then roll to the right. Or if you'd prefer to roll to the left, roll to the left, and just see how it goes. And come back. Come back. And then do it again and notice, what is it? Why? It's pleasant. How do you do it? How do you start it? What's most available to you for rolling, for turning? And come back again. And then go to the other side just to determine why did you choose the first side first? What is it about Is this side less available or more available? Or are they the same? What's your preferential side? And then you can rest from that. We'll come back to it at the end and maybe it's changed. So come on your back and stand up your feet. And a few times just to prepare the back for turning, can you lean your knees to the right slowly and come back a few times. Have your knees separated, have the legs spread, the feet spread so they're not tied together. It's just makes things more available. So we're tilting the knees to the right and coming back. Noting all the pleasant places along the way and how you replace your pelvis onto the floor when you come back. How far do you feel the turning of your spine? The knees tilt, the pelvis becomes heavier on the right and starts to roll. The left side of the back comes away from the floor a bit or a lot, doesn't matter. But how far up your spine do you feel the turning? Or how far through yourself towards your head? And just listen in the easiest, simplest way without trying to make anything happen that's not happening. And then go a few times to the other side. Staying in your comfort zone. Keeping with your breath. Staying very true to your comfort and how far you go. And how far might you feel the twisting or turning of the spine or the pressure of the ribs? How is it different on this side to the left and coming back? And then the next time your knees are in the middle, go ahead and take a short rest. Feel what may have already changed. And now stand up your legs again. Bend your legs and stand your feet and cross your right leg over your left leg. So the back of the thigh is crossed over the front thigh. So it's not that the ankle is resting on the outside, but the whole leg, the whole back of the leg contacts your left thigh. And now with the weight of your right thigh resting on your left, go ahead and let the knees lower to the right. And just how far do they go without you trying to coerce them to go further? How far does your system allow the knees to tilt and come back? So you just go until the other side pulls back. So where's the end of your elasticity? And then continue tilting to the right, staying in your easy and comfortable range where nothing pulls, and allow your head to roll to the right. Allow your head to roll with your knees on the way over and on the way back, which means that when the knees start to move, the head starts to move. When the knees start to come back, the head starts to come back to place, to where it started. And notice where you look with your eyes. Or are you looking or seeing anything with your eyes as you tilt the knees? Roll the head. And what do you, so you could sort of follow along the ceiling with your eyes, with your gaze, and then over to where the ceiling meets the wall, and over down along the wall, and maybe to where the wall joins the floor. And then back, you scan with your eyes. You could imagine, this might be horrible, but you could imagine a mouse scurrying along the ceiling, down the wall to the floor, and starting to approach your face, and then scurrying away and going back up to the ceiling and along the ceiling to where everything comes back to the middle. And does the use of your eyes affect the tilting of your knees? The next time you're back at the center, uncross your leg and take a short rest. Stand your feet again. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. And close your left eye. Close your left eye. And again, tilt your knees to the right. Allow them to lower over to the right, but look with your left eye along the ceiling and down the wall with your right eye only, and come back as so that your knees will, your eyes are following, the knees are tilting, but you're looking just with your right eye. The head rolls to the right as well. The head can roll to the right, but you're just looking out of your right eye. The head rolls with the knees tilting. The eye is open, you can see. You continue tilting the knees and you bring them to the center each time. So they don't go over there and stay, but you're tilting the knees and looking with the right eye over to the right side of the room as you tilt the knees. And the head is rolling. Yeah, we're still on the same side. And now close the right eye and only look with the left eye. So the knees tilt to the right and the head rolls to the right, but you're only looking out of your left eye. So one of your eyes may be very easy to close and keep closed. The other eye may feel like it's almost impossible. I certainly have an eye like that. But what difference does it make for the rest of yourself if you look out of the right eye and tilt the knees, or look out of the left eye as you tilt the knees? And see along the sea, see an imaginary something, a ball, a mouse, maybe not a spider. Something going along the ceiling, following it, tracking it with one eye and then the other eye several times. Do one eye several times. Do the other eye several times. Slowly. Can you keep track of your back and your ribs and the weight changing on your body as you track this imaginary object or creature? Can you keep the breath flowing, or do you hold the breath at certain places? Does one eye skip or jump more than the other? Can you make the movement of the eyes smooth? And the eyes will organize the rest of your body. So let's uncross our legs and take a rest down. Stand your feet again. Cross your right leg over your left. And with both eyes open, just see how it is now to tilt the legs and roll the head to the right. And look with the eyes to the right. With both eyes. Well, how's the tilting? What's this feeling, the sensation? And then uncross your right leg and cross your left leg over the right. And now just see, how is it to tilt your knees, to lower your knees over to the left? So the left leg is crossed on top, and you allow the knees to just sink. Let gravity grab hold of them. And turn your head. Roll your head to the left. When the knees start to move, the head starts to move, the pelvis is rolling, the head and the pelvis are connected. So the head rolls as far as the pelvis rolls. And you take both eyes to the right. I'm sorry, to the left. Take both eyes to the left. And now close your right eye and just look out of your left eye. And tilt the knees and roll the head with the pelvis. Keep your right eye closed. And can you keep your eye closed as softly as possible with as little effort and squinting? Feldenkrais says, you just simply don't open the eye. And I'm like, yeah, right. You just keep it closed. See along the ceiling and down the wall with your left eye. And then close the left eye and look with the right eye. Close the left eye and look with the right eye as you tilt the knees to the left and roll the head to the left. How is it different? What changes? What about this movement changes looking out of one eye versus looking out of the other eye? Really see. This is an excellent opportunity to work with the eye muscles. And then look with both eyes. Open both eyes the next time you tilt. You can pause for a moment if you like and reset when you're ready. Just let the knees go over and sink to the left. Roll the head to the left and look with both eyes. Follow that object or that little creature. How is it for the ribs? Which ribs might turn more easily? What part of your spine? Feel how your eyes organize the movement. It's pretty amazing. Let's take a rest. Stand your feet again. Bend your knees and stand your feet. Spread the legs, comfortable distance apart. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Right thigh crossed over the left thigh. And now tilt your knees to the right. Let them lower over to the right again. But this time, turn your face to the left. Roll your head to the left, away from the knees. As the knees begin to turn and roll over, lean rather, when does the head start to roll? This is quite different for the ribs and the sternum, the chest, and the back. How is it different for you? Turning the head, rolling the head left as the knees lean to the right. And then the next time you lower the knees to the right, close your right eye and look out of your left eye. And follow that little creature or ball along the ceiling, down the wall, over to your left. Along the floor towards your face, and then send it away. Look with your left eye. Now look with your right eye. Close your left eye. Look with your right eye. Can you keep track of what your body is doing as you keep track with your visual field of your environment? Do your eyes dart? Do they skip? Can you make the movement of the eyes smoother? Really see, follow along the lines of the ceiling and the wall. Then take a rest. Next time you're at center, Take a rest. Stand up your feet. Cross your right thigh over your left. Open both eyes and tilt your knees to the right and look to the right. Roll the head to the right. Feel how it moves through you. And then keep going, tilt the knees again to the right, but take the head and eyes to the left. I'll just go once or twice with the knees to the right. The right leg is crossed over the left thigh. And just once with both eyes, roll the head once to the right, once or twice to the right, once or twice to the left. Take the head right, take the head left, the eyes right, the eyes left. Let's feel things have softened up a bit. And then the next time you're at center, uncross your right thigh, cross your left thigh over your right thigh, and tilt your knees, let them lower, let gravity pull them over to the left as you roll your head to the right, opposing the knees, coming back. How far through yourself from the tail to your head do you feel this? Which vertebrae turn to the left and where's the juncture where the vertebrae above start to turn to the right? And then just play with yourself, for yourself. Close first your left eye and let the head roll to the right as the knees tilt left. And see if you can time the movement of the eyes with the lowering and raising of the knees. And close the right eye and open the left. Continue rolling the head to the right as you lower the knees to the left, looking out of your left eye, smoothly following a moving object. Just noticing how your system gets behind that. Your whole system will get behind your intention to see. And then open both eyes and look with both eyes. After you've paused a bit or rested a bit, let's see how it is now to lower the knees and roll the head in opposition with both eyes. And then come back to center and take a full rest. Roll your head. How's your neck? All right, stand your feet again. Cross your right thigh over your left. Raise your left arm up towards the ceiling and make a fist with your left hand. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand and circle it like a bracelet. And now lower your knees over to the right as you roll your head to the right and pull your left arm across to the right and help your rib cage turn. Help your rib cage roll by pulling on the left arm. Many times in your own timing with your breathing, and roll the head. You can look at the hand, the fist, and feel this tug. How does the tug, how does it help soften the ribs, soften the sternum, and allow you to roll better? You could play with the timing. You could try starting the rolling by pulling the arm. And then the legs and the head come. You can play around with how you start the movement, but make it easier and simpler each time. Where could you soften more? Where is the chest stiff or the back stiff that it could maybe relinquish that? Could you make your eyes softer? And then take a rest when you've had enough or before you've had enough. Take a rest. Sense your contact and your breath. Stand your feet. Cross your right thigh over your left. Again, take hold of your right fist, of your right wrist rather. Make a fist with your, I'm sorry, I meant your left fist, the same arm that we were pulling on earlier. And now just play with, excuse me, play with the knees lowering to the right and pulling the arm to the right as you roll the head to the left. How is it different? Does the head want to slide or bend? This several times. Feel which ribs close in the back, which ribs open down into the floor. Pause, let the arm rest, the arms rest. Take the same arm, the right leg is still crossed over the left. Take hold of your left wrist and play with pulling your arm as you lower the knees to the right and looking out of your right eye once and looking out of your left eye as you roll the head to the right. So one time let the right eye do the looking, and one time let the left eye do the looking, the seeing, And then with both eyes, roll the head and look to the right. And return to center and take a rest. Stand your feet. Cross your left thigh over your right. Raise your right arm up in the air towards the ceiling. Make a fist and encircle your right wrist with your left. Thumb and fingers, and start to play with lowering the knees to the left and assisting your torso turning by pulling the arm across yourself over to the left. Not forcefully, just find out how much of a tug do you need to get things going until gravity can kind of take over. And the head can roll to the right, it can roll to the left. So play with each option. The head can roll and turn with the sternum and pelvis, or the face can turn in the direction of the right shoulder coming away from the floor. How are these options different for your ribs, your back, your pelvis, your neck? And play with looking out of one eye as you roll one way and then the other eye, so that each eye has a chance or two to experience being the dominant eye as you roll your head either to the left or to the right, and to pull your left arm. Give each eye a chance to do its own seeing. And then both eyes. But do you look with both eyes? Or is one eye still dominant? If you can feel if you use both of your eyes to see, or do you use one dominantly? And after you've played with that enough, take another rest. And now, just to release the back from all this twisting, can you stand up your feet and interlace your fingers, bring your hands behind your head, and lift your knees towards your body, your feet in the air, and lift your head away from the floor. Just hang your feet and just gently rock along your spine. You can roll a little to the right and left. You can rock like a rocking horse along with your spine, and each of your elbows has a knee, has a buddy. Your right elbow and your right knee, and your left elbow and your left knee, they're partners. Soften the chest, round the spine. Take away some of the hard work that we've been doing with the back muscles, and then take a rest. And now this next this next movement or position will be up to you how you do it. But you will raise your pelvis in the air, stand your feet and raise your pelvis in the air, or somehow find a way to bring both your forearms behind your rib cage in the back. So it's like you would take hold of each elbow in each hand. Maybe you can't reach that far behind yourself, but some sort of approximation of that. So your arms are crossed behind your back. You're holding onto your elbows or somewhere along your forearm. Your pelvis is lifted. And now slowly, slowly, slowly lower your pelvis down onto the floor. And do that several times until you find that you can rest relatively, you can be relatively okay with your pelvis on the floor and this strong provocation of your forearms behind your chest, behind your ribs. And take a moment to breathe there. And now cross your right thigh over your left. Now we have this interesting constraint, which is the arms behind the back and the left elbow trapped. And that's the whole point of it. The left elbow is trapped on the floor. And go through these machinations, these movements we've been playing with of rolling the pelvis to the right, lowering the knees to the right, and rolling the head to the right. And what this does is it prevents a part of your spine from turning. See if you can feel what this is doing. The arms behind the back create an interesting constraint. And they create a condition so that only the lower part of your back can turn and only your neck can turn. We've essentially frozen the rib cage. And this might not feel that pleasant. I personally found one side to be complete and utter torture, but wow, what a difference it made at the end of the lesson. So you're lowering your knees and rolling your head, and you're trapped. And then you could roll your head the opposite direction with your arms trapped, the still knees tilting to the right. And the left elbow is trapped. Only certain parts of your spine can turn. And soften, soften, soften where the ribs are protesting. These are the stiff and unyielding places, and we are addressing them now. Sometimes just lying on the arms is enough. Come back to center, uncross your leg, lift your pelvis away from your arms, and lower it again. See if it's a little more comfortable now. Is your back a little more accepting of having that provocation behind your back? It's a little softer. And then you can bring your arms out and lay your back down and take a rest. Bend up your knees, stand your feet. Lift your pelvis so you can cross your arms behind your ribs again. And lay your spine down on your forearms. Maybe hold the other elbow if you want to reverse this situation. Get nice and snug behind there and lay your pelvis down. And when you find that you can breathe, go ahead and cross your left thigh over your right thigh and lower your knees to the left. Your right elbow is now trapped. So feel what parts of your spine are turning, the lower spine and the upper spine of the neck, and the mid point is trapped. If your right elbow begins to come away from the floor because of the weight of your legs and pelvis, then don't go so far. We want to keep the right elbow down. Turn the head one way, turn the head the other. Breathe. What about the eyes? Have you forgotten about seeing? Can you look? Can you see? Can you move the eyes smoothly? Right or left? And then uncross your leg, untie your arms, bring them out from underneath yourself, and rest. How wide is your back? How much contact do you have on the right and on the left? What's the image of your back? Pelvis. Stand your feet again, and again cross your right thigh over your left. And now throw your arms across yourself so that you take hold of each shoulder blade in the palms of your hands, which means that one arm will be entirely below the other, and you're holding your shoulder blades or the area around your shoulder blades, and you're not holding your shoulders. And like this, lower your knees to the right and play with turning your chest by pulling through your right hand, your left shoulder blade. Play with turning the head or rolling the head to the right once or to the left, but you're now turning the rib cage with the help of your right fingertips, pulling the rib cage around to the right, pulling your left shoulder blade around to the right. Softly, softly, softly. Soften your ribs. And look with one eye or look with the other eye in a smooth arc. As you encourage your ribs to turn with your pelvis. And now when you're on your back again, just pull your ribs right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Sort of rock, like you're rocking your rib cage, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then uncross your right leg and recross your legs with the left leg on top, and uncross your arms and cross your arms. Hug yourself with the other arm below. Take hold of your right shoulder blade through your left fingertips and roll, and let the legs lower to the left. Encourage the ribs. Look with one eye and look with the other. Feel your embrace, your self-embrace. Feel how the eyes organize the movement a little differently. One eye, the other eye, and both eyes. Track the little mouse or the ball along the ceiling and down the wall towards your face and back. And then the next time you're at center, just right, left, right, left, right, left. Just shake your rib cage loose. Nice and wiggly and free. And then uncross everything and flop. Boom. Feel the width and contact of your torso and back against the floor. Is your breathing able to expand more? Is your head or your neck a little looser, freer if you roll your head? And then roll to your side. When you're ready, roll to your side. Come up to standing slowly. Feel how it is to stand, how your arms hang, how your legs and feet and back support you. How you might look right and left. Move about. We'll call it a lesson.